Alright, it's been some time since I did my last video, which is really unfortunate, but time to undo a pretty big mistake that I made during the last one. There, that's better. Number 2. That can come off. Number 3, this came in the post. What I can do is simply put it on top, which would help drastically with the whole setup. Now, I need to correct that, so I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to cut this back. Now, I bought this hose off eBay. Probably a good idea to don't keep going down the path I was. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yep, gnarling it up. Wow. Don't do that. Do not do that too often, that's for damn sure. Anywho. This should fit over it. Oh wow, that's just barely. But before I continue, I'm going to need one of the clamps. So if I take this table out of the way. Ooh. Now this is definitely being a bit fidgety, so I'm not too happy about that. Oh, there it goes. Alright, it's over. And this is where I need to take a quick pause. When I come back with my screwdriver. So this was a quick kit that I bought off eBay. It just came with 2 of these hose clamps and the actual hose itself, which is good. There, now I don't have to worry. Good. So this was definitely a worthwhile purchase for me. Oops. Which what I'll do now is just estimate how much I actually need. Okay. Where's my scissors? There they are. So I've estimated for this setup I'm going to need about yay much of the hose. So I'm going to cut it. I should have gotten a pair of proper wire cutters. I'm gonna have to pause this. All right, I'm back. Now I've got some pliers. Not the best one, but it should allow me to just simply go in and, yep. Also left some metal filings behind, which I'm not exactly happy about. Gap. All right, cut. Oh, yeah, now it's basically wrecked my scissors. Okay. Well, pro tip, if you're cutting these, make sure you've got a pair of pliers or a pair of like proper cutters, because, oops. Yeesh, I've mangled this. Alright, so here's its low point. Great. I've busted these scissors. That didn't feel good. Last thing I need now is my microphone to go broke. Oof. Yeah, I am not happy with that. All right. So, next part is to put on the second permanently attached portion, which will be sticking this onto the fan. Well, that'll work. Ew. Yeah. Problem working with sharp stuff. You cut your gloves all the time. Grab my screwdriver. So I found these fans on eBay, and the first one I tried, well, it was really funny. It just started moving like a jet engine. And now I'm starting to get a little worried. Oh, that is so close. Oh, yikes. But that's gonna hold. That's got a good enough hold on it. Yep. Sweet. All right. So that's good. I got plenty of room on this side of the hose. And what this allows me to do is to then connect the one I originally got from the hardware store to the wall. Right, so as you can see here, I've been able to attach the other end of the hose to the wall mounted, the window mounted panel. Now I'm going to have to change that around, so I'm going to have to rip it down and do some modifications to put it back up for a more permanent solution, but that's going to be another time. For now, however. Alright, so now I can turn around and take my fan and plug this in here and then fasten it with this. Alright, now I can fasten it with my screwdriver. Alright, that'll have to be good enough. Now, let's test this out. So, I've got my power source, got my plug. I'll move my camera. Whoops. Alright, plug it in time. Oop. Alright, after that adjustment, I'm going to plug her in. So it does make a little bit of noise, but it doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, the door keeps popping open. Alright. So this should be okay for now, at least. Now, that's all done. So the whole point of this first part of the video, which I should have said a long time ago, I finally had everything come in that I wanted to, which included the additional hose and a couple of new fans. Now these are inline fans that I found on eBay, and this setup should hopefully keep the smell away from affecting me. All I have to do is remember to open the window and I can pump all the nasty fumes out, which is exactly what I want. And time to stop and recalibrate, get myself set up, and try to go for part 2 of the video. Now, having gone through the whole firmware thing and looked at what I was doing, I decided to do a little bit more research, and here's what I came across. Right now I'm back on the firmware release history page, and it looks like there's one more that's come out since I last popped on here. Anyway, I did a bit more searching, and what I discovered is that you can in fact upgrade to new firmware using an SD card, which is good. The downside is, and this is the part that just absolutely sucks, I have to be at version 1.7. So now I need to figure out what firmware version I have on my printer. So I'm going to sneak in and I'm going to turn it on. All right. All right. So I did a bit of fiddling around, which I shouldn't have done. And what I'm going to go to is down to network information, or I think system, whatever it's called. Go over, scroll down, and currently I'm on version 1.0. I'm on 1.5.1, which in my situation isn't very good. 1.5.1 is the version that my printer came with, which sucks. It pisses me off endlessly. Now, instead of turning around and downloading the app for my phone and all that nonsense, I'm going to fire up Bambu Studio and just simply give up. Once it's ready. And I'm going to log in. But first, I'm going to connect to the internet. And the way I'm going to connect to the internet is not through my Wi-Fi, but I'm going to connect to a LAN network on my laptop. And I want to see if I can turn around and not have to connect my printer directly to the internet, but go through sort of like a proxy, or go around it. So as you can see now at the bottom of the screen, I'm connected to a LAN network, which is then connected to the internet. Okay, good. Now I'm going to log in. Okay. So unfortunately we have to agree to the terms. I've already had a read of them before, and log in. Try again. Alright, verification code. And confirm. No. I'm not going to synchronize anything. Alright. So, I've logged in, I don't have anything, and I am going to look at what I have access to. So, device. Do I automatically connect? So for some reason it's not connecting yet. Failed. All right. So obviously connecting to my laptop and then connecting to using separate Wi-Fi and LAN doesn't work, which is irritating. I didn't want to have to do this. Unfortunately, the situation I've been put in requires it. So I'm going to now take a step back and I'm going to connect myself to the network that my printer is on to the internet. So here's what I've done now. My Wi-Fi is now connected to the internet, which you can see at the bottom of my screen. Mind you, this is Windows 10. And I look like, oh no, there it is. Connect, connecting, connected. Good. Okay, my printer is connected. So let's go storage, can't check, update. Well, hello, firmware update. This is irritating because I didn't want to have this network connected to the internet. I only wanted to have my laptop connected to the LAN, which was then connected to the internet, and the Wi-Fi on my laptop then connected to the network the 3D printer's on, but won't let me do that. Huh. Interesting. This is the latest firmware. That doesn't seem right. So version 1.5, but I've got 1.5.1, and this was back in when? Doesn't have the date. Anyway, it's quite old, because at the moment it's P1 series at 1.9, which means it's probably because it's not connected the way it should be. So I'm going to go over to my printer and try to do a non-LAN mode, which is going to be fun. Alright, I've changed the configuration, and well, I set it from LAN only mode from on to off. And now I'm going to try this again. No printer. Bind with access code. Okay, I accept for you to monitor everything I print and download it. No, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to go confirm. Okay, login successful. Good. So, now it's set to be able to update the firmware. Update firmware. Yes, I will confirm. Even though I didn't want to do it this way, you assholes. Would have been nice if the printers that were sold had at least, you know, relatively new firmware installed. I hate to think how old the firmware is on this thing, to be honest. Alright, I'm back. So the firmware update has been done. I can click on local storage. Now this is funny. So haven't printed anything. There should be files loaded on the printer, but I can't see them. Isn't that nice? Alright, I'm just going to go disconnect from the internet now. Alright, with that little hissy fit over, I've disconnected myself from the internet. Windows hasn't picked up on that yet. Ooh, failed to connect to printer. Interesting. No internet, no connection. Isn't that nice? Alright. Time to set it back to LAN only mode. Now I'm back again. So what I've done is to take a bunch of photos of the IP address. I've set a new sync number, access code, and I'm going to try to go through this all again. So let's go connect. Please input access code. Right. Failed to connect to printer. Fine. Have it your way. Log out. Connect a new printer. Bind with access code. IP address. Access code. Connect. What? Well, I'm not connected to the internet. Oh well, shut it down. Start her up. Alright, can I log out? Yes. The app seems unresponsive. There we go, logged out. Prepare. No. No. Device. Okay, I'm connected. So you have to log out of the app too. Alright. Done. Connected. Didn't have to take all those photos. Right. Storage. So even when I was connected to the internet, I couldn't actually see the models that were loaded on automatically. So that's actually stupid, to be honest. To be fair, prior to the recording, I did also update Bambu Studio. So that's a current version of the app. It's got the current version of the firmware, which is version 1.9. Okay, good. So hopefully I get all these additional functions. Plus, if I ever want to, I can try printing with that new PLA filament that came out recently. Right. Oops. Good, so that works. Now, I want to figure out exactly what I want to print as my first proper 3D print. Documents. Cache, image, IP cam, language, model. So, Dino puzzle, no. Bambu badge, spool, Bed scraper. No. What happens if I drag and drop you into here? Okay, that's what I printed before, but that's not what I want. Delete. So it's not the bed scraper, it's not the puzzle, it's not the fan support, film sticking, combo, mini tray, outline diameter, phone stand, scraper grip. Ah, that's what I want. So it's called the scraper grip. Okay. Now, what do we got here? It's about 6 minutes. It's going to use 9 meters of filament. Prepare, device, project, calibration. Don't need to worry about that. Preview. So I'm happy with that. Print a plate. So it's called Scraper Grip by Bambu Labs PLA. Right. I'm going to see if I can actually print this from the 3D printer. So I'm going to stop and go back to the 3D printer and make an attempt to try to print this from the 3D printer instead of from the app. Now I'm back in front of my 3D printer. It's all nice and up to date. I still have the plastic on top of the screen, which I'm going to leave there. I know everyone likes the heel, but I don't. Plus I can clearly see the screen anyway, so it's not even very... Right. Firmware's been updated. I've loaded my PLA filament, and I am going to get myself up. It's not the bed scraper. It's the scraper gripper by Bambu Labs. And it should say PLA. Now that's the one I want to print. Okay. Oh, no, hang on, I'm going to go back. Oops. I'm going to set it to silent. So that's going to reduce the speed by 50%, but it also should stop with all the wobbling, which is what I want. I'm going to go back, up. Bed scraper by Bambu Lab, PLA, G-code, and I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to hit print. Now I'm going to close this. 2 hours. Huh. Interesting. Wasn't supposed to take 2 hours. So, closed off. The fan's currently going. So it should be pulling the air through, which is what I want. And now it's all sealed up. I shouldn't need to touch this at all until it's finished. I have just started my 3D print of the scraper gripper, and I'm going to go to device, and I'm going to go, oh, it's loading automatically. As I can see, it's starting to warm up. Okay, good. It wants to take 1 hour and 5 minutes. What? Okay, so it's just doing its vibration test. Now it could be the fact that I set it to print at a lower speed, but that could... hopefully that's it. Alright, it's still going through the bed calibration. This is irritating. I don't know about any of you, but I personally would like to have the calibration and the actual prints time separate, plus having an overall. But that's just me. Ooh, there's some filament stuck to it. Yeah. I'll have to look at getting that mod I've seen where you can put those little, it's like a toothbrush next to the, well, waste chute. Or poop chute, whatever you want to call it. But let's see how it goes for now. Hopefully I don't have to remove that little bit until after the print's finished. I'll be honest, this feels like I'm on acid or something. How long I need to have that firmware thing up? Alright, I'm going to stop this recording for now and I'll get back to it when it's some way through the print itself. I'll be honest, I hope I didn't really screw up when it came to the whole pausing when I'm on the laptop. In any case, I decided to take a bit of a pause and just show the current status of the printer itself. Now if I did this correctly, I would have put in the little recordings I'd done also. I hooked up my Video Me microphone from Robe to my iPhone and did a recording with that, so you can hear the actual sounds coming from it, and hopefully not the stuff from the highway, because that's irritating. But at the moment it still seems to be printing in an okay fashion. I'd say a regular fashion, but it's set to slow, so let's see how this goes. Alright, so I've got a bit of an observation here which I find a little curious. I'm going to turn the lamp on. Now, I don't know how, and I don't know why, but when I turn the lamp off, I actually get a better image. Oh, this sucks. Alright, observation over. Since I have hit pause before, at least on my laptop, I've unloaded the filament and I've let this sit for a little while. What's irritating is that I had hooked up the fan incorrectly, so instead of pulling air through, it was pushing it out. Not good. I fixed it, it's in the right direction, it's operating the way it should be, and now I'm going to open up my printer. So as you can see, I've already unloaded it. I've also turned the light back on so we can sort of see what's going on in here. Now, I want to see whether or not I can do the pull, since I've let this thing settle down for cool down for a bit, so now it's at about 30°, so that's all right. First, I'll remove this. Put that aside. Now, I should probably say that I have kept my filament roll in here. There's a little moisture absorbing flakes in this as well, and at the moment it looks like this has actually set itself quite well. Well, it hasn't sort of gotten... The way I kept it, it doesn't look like it screwed it up too much. Ooh, can actually do it now. Alright, so first impression is that this came out alright. Actually, this looks a lot better than the stuff I've been able to print off-site. I'll grab this little bit over here. Yep, snaps right up. And the handle. Perfect. Now that doesn't look that half bad, which is really nice. This is what I wanted to print the first time. Unfortunately, I screwed up. There's a little bit of, I don't know, I don't what would you call it, like stringing? But we're talking about something that's almost not even relevant, because the printing on this is pretty damn good. Just after those two prints, I'm not really missing much. Well, the plate still looks like it's alright. Anywho, I am going to turn this off. And I'm going to have to do something with that side piece there because it's sort of screwed up right now. Now, any eagle-eyed viewers would have noticed that when I put the top panel back on, I didn't put it in the right way, but that particularly doesn't matter. Still, later on I'm going to reassemble it correctly, and I am going to unplug my fan because I don't need it anymore, and take a bit of a pause because I need to go and shut my window. Alright, so now I sit here on the floor in a total mess. And fingers crossed nothing bad's happened. But, for now, I get to open up this little package. One blade. It's fully embarrassing. So my understanding is that it's supposed to sit like this. All right. Something's probably going to fall in a minute. And let's try and tighten that up. There, that's better. That should be it. Now, my other understanding is that I'm supposed to adhere this magnet onto the side, like onto the back like that. Oh well, I'll call that it. Wow, this plywood's letting off a lot of sawdust. I might have to fix that. In any case, oh, hang on. I'll have to buy some more of these blades. It's kind of irritating. It is nice that a second screw, a third screw was included in that, plus an extra magnet. And with any luck, I will not need to use... Oh, I see what the other magnet's for. It's for attaching onto here. Interesting. Anyway. I will be putting these two back in the actual box with everything else. And for now, I'm going to say yibbity-yibbita.